Today, we are diving into the Hufflepuff portion of the Hogwarts Crest. Ooh, ah. I actually have the crest proper on the ground off camera. You can't see it. So, I will kind of show that off at the very end. But today, we are starting in on the badger mushroom. No, there are no mushrooms in this one. So let's dive on in where we've already done all these bits and now are starting in on the badger badger business. Exactly. Business or busyness? You decide. So this one only actually has 3 of these little whatchamacallums, Technic pieces that connect. So only have to worry about the bottom. And of course we do this bit first and I hold it up so that I can use that as a guide for what the bottom is. Make sure that we're all centered and such. A little bit further over here. Cool. So I think we'll start off with our black outline like we have been doing. Grab a handful. I don't think my clairvoyance is going to be too on point this go around. I think I grabbed way too many. So we've got 4 of them below on this bottom right. But then we've got 3 up. 1, 2, and 3. And skip 1 there. Let's go. But then we've got this diagonal, because this is the kind of starting in on this part of the crest. So it looks like it's got a little bit of the kind of paisley thing above this, but then this will be like the cresty bit itself. And this is just staggered up and staggered up and staggered up. So we'll continue staggering these on up. So sorry if I'm a little frenetic, because I basically went straight from the meeting into like, put together all of the things to do the streaming thing ASAP. And I'm just now kind of settling in. Yeah, typically, so this meeting started at 10. And it went over into my lunch break a bit. It was a very long meeting. There's nothing wrong with long meetings. It just was one. It just was one. And now, exactly, I can settle into my moment of zen. Find our center. As this diagonal staggery bit goes through the center of this Lego panel. It staggers up. It keeps on staggering through the panel. Sheep ASMR. Find your center of the panel and put a black stud there, because it's going to separate the paisley bit from the crest. Oh, the old school Daily Show. That would do it. I completely drew a blank on that. But yeah, you're totally right. That is a old school Daily Show quote. Let's go. There we go. And we're not off by too much. Just this much. But then we've also got us some dark silver. dark silver. By some, I mean one. We have literally one dark silver on this entire panel. So now we'll do kind of the canvas of the paisley bit. I'm going to do the outside of the crest first, and then come back in to the inside of the crest. So we're going from out to in. Yeah, Jon Stewart is great. I'm also a fan. I must say, I wasn't as like aware of, you know, the world whenever he was initially on The Daily Show, so it's mostly stuff afterwards that I've seen, which is unfortunate. So we're putting in the canvas first. The blank canvas that everything goes over. Hence there not being too much of it. Oh. Meowdy, Prez! Good to see ya, friend. And welcome to the city of electric sheep. Oh, did that? Oh, that sound didn't go. Okay, there we go. So welcome. It wasn't very loud. I'll do it again. Welcome to the city of electric sheep. There we go. These are the things that normally I would test before stream. But I was sprinting to get here as soon as my meeting ended. But I made the thing. I told you it would happen eventually. Eventually is today. In a world where eventually happens now. Now is the time. That's about all I got. Exactly, Rue. We did it live. There we go. I'm sure I'll use more white, so I'm not going to bother putting that back in. And now I'm going to outline the gold bits, because even though we're not ending with the gold, we are including the gold. The gold swoops, or as I've been calling them, the paisley bits. So we'll go ahead and do the outline of those. I'll toss this one up here first. Shoot that one. And to here. And it kind of staggers into there. There we go. Yo, meowdy, psycho. Ooh, so I do have a system for picking which panel to work on. That is a good question. I've been choosing which panel to work on based on which one is next in the instruction book. So it basically does each house quadrant. So it does the top 3, middle 3, bottom 3 of a quadrant. And then it moves over 1 to the right, and then it does bottom left, quadrant, 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 until bottom right. So that does mean that we are ending with my wife's house, which is Ravenclaw. Wit beyond measure is man's greatest treasure. It is known. So we'll pop those buddies in there. And we're outlining the paisley bits. But yeah, as far as what did I start at? So I started at the whatchamacallit? That's helpful. I started at the very top left of like the Gryffindor one. But that was, you know, a few weeks ago at this point, a couple weeks ago. So we are now doing the very top left of the Hufflepuff one. So this is the first panel of the day. So it's the first panel of the day, but that's where we are right now. So, whew. I am glad that I finally feel like I've taken that breath after that meeting. It wasn't a bad meeting. It was just a long one. Okay. So now, I replenished the gold stud bag all the way. Like, this is a ton because this one is the Hufflepuff kind of quadrant that we're working on. And rather than using a different color of yellow or gold or whatnot, it all uses this same gold color. It all uses this same gold color. So because of that, I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and just start filling that bag up because, whoo, lad, it's going to use a lot of it. And as you can tell, once we get into this part inside the crest, it will. So we're doing the outer paisley bit. This looks like this will actually conclude the outer paisley bits for the left side. The right side, you know, whenever we get into Ravenclaw, the end of the first panels there, the first row there will conclude the paisley bits all the way around. So that should be, if everything goes according to plan, today's Monday. If everything goes according to plan, we'll finish 3 of them today, 3 of them Tuesday, 3 of them Wednesday. That'll be the last panel that we do on Thursday. If everything goes according to plan. It might not. We shall see. And that will be the last of the paisley bits. And actually, that'll be the what? So that'll be the first of the final quadrant. So Friday will be the second of the final quadrant. Next weekend, I may end up doing a special stream over the weekend to finish up the stuff. Like, on the one hand, I like that I'm doing this on my lunch breaks, but on the other hand, the final one is going to have a lot of frame stuff to do. And I don't know how long that's going to take. So I may end up doing a special one over the weekend. Stay tuned. Oh, so I've also commissioned some stream music from the same person who did my normal starting soon stuff. That'll go in the background of both the YouTube videos, but then I'll also put it in the background of the streams too. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you're hearing it right now already. But Shade Swiper on Twitter is making that for me and has already gotten the first proofs in, and oh my gosh, it sounds amazing. I cannot wait. Excitement flipping abounds. She's killing it. Okay, so we're finishing up this swooshy bit right here. And that is the end of that paisley bit. Hup. And hup. Yep, that swooshy bit. See it? It swooshes. Swooshes. It's a very technical term. Swooshy bit. It's an extremely technical term. It. What Hogwarts house has the super S as an emblem? Oh, well, we just finished the Slytherin. So I've been re-listening to the books. I actually just finished re-listening to all of them over the weekend. And at one point, I guess it was in the Half-Blood Prince, they talk about the like telltale or whatever signature S that Slytherin has, and I was like, I mean, it's got to be the Super S. That's what the Slytherin signature S is. It's the Super S. So in my headcanon, that is the Slytherin S. And you know, my headcanon is the official one, so so in my headcanon as well, one thing that to me happened is after, you know who is defeated, everyone starts, going back to like doing their things. To me, so the quote unquote official version of everything is that Luna Lovegood becomes like a naturalist and, marries Newt Scamander's offspring or whatever, right? My headcanon. So, obviously spoilers for all of Harry Potter, all of the things. My headcanon is that how best to phrase this? So Luna and Ollivander are kind of like kept in the Malfoy Manor like dungeon and whatnot, and they end up becoming a fast friends. Hi, Scorpion. Bye, Scorpion. Good to see you, friend. So they become fast friends, and they after Ollivander is released, he ends up straight up sending Luna a new wand. Well, in my headcanon, instead of Luna becoming a naturalist, which is admittedly a good fit for her, she trains with Ollivander and ends up kind of like taking that mantle as well. So she ends up becoming the next wand maker. She ends up keeping, in my headcanon, she ends up keeping the Ollivander's wand makers like title and everything for the thing, but she's just, Luna Lovegood instead. Yo, meowdy Admon. That's right, we got a new logo and all the things. Excitement abounds. Do. All right, so now we've just about got... Oh, man, I was so close to having clairvoyance on this one as well. We finished this little border and had 3 studs left. Yar, that's right, matey. We be a fancy stream now, Roo. Yar. You know it. Do do do. And we're now outlining the border that we made earlier. Neville greater than Harry. Dude, I can agree with that. So for the longest time, Luna Lovegood was my favorite character, which is probably why, whenever I was listening to it again this time, I was like, here's my headcanon, like my current headcanon of what happens to her afterwards, right? Because I was just thinking about it. Yo, Meowdy Con! But in general, like, Neville, this time in particular, really resonated with me, and like, I'm not sure which one is my favorite character right now, if it's Neville or if it's Luna, of all of the characters in the series. Exactly, Rocky. How you doing, Cod? Imagine pretty good after watching one of your favorite hand egg players win the Superb Owl last night. I watched part of that game, and then it was kind of a boring game, so I switched it off. Like, I wasn't upset or anything. Like, I have no skin in the game one way or the other. Just, it wasn't a very good game. Yeah, I can completely agree with that, Admon. So Admon says that Neville in the books is great, but it's also Harry's point of view of Neville. You don't really see him except for the times he's interacting with Harry. So I don't know if he went through a full angst phase too, which is a very good point. Yeah, and he very well may have. And like, you kind of see a little bit of Neville's angst whenever he is in the whatchamacallit, in St. Mungo's in, is that Order of the Phoenix? I think so. Whenever like you see him meeting with his parents, right? Like that, oh, that gets me every time. Every time. So yeah, Neville definitely went through quite a bit. Yeah, that's right. When they're checking up on Arthur, whenever he gets nommed on by the Sneaky Snake. The Sneaky Snake. All right. Filling this on in. And fill it on in. Oh. And that is one panel down. Let's go. Oh. Cool. Oh, and typically I've already separated these before we start, but in my haste to get over here, I hadn't done that yet. There we go. And, of course, we start with these. Gonna go ahead and keep the hand box off while we put these out, just because you don't really get a good view of that anyway. So it's on the bottom, in the middle, and on the left, so it can connect. Hop. And center it on up. Okay, so bottom and left. And now we get to properly make that badger. Badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom. So skip 3 and 2. I love whenever Spam Risk calls me. They're my favorite people to talk to. Holy moly, that is an insane stat. So we got our outside border of the crest. I mean, it's not really the outside border of the crest, right? It's the separating border between the Gryffindor lion and the Hufflepuff badger. Is what that is. And oh, I was one off. One off. Okay, and gonna need quite a few of these gray buddies, because this is the rest of that border. And we got our border going on. Huh. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure why the badger is the mascot for Hufflepuff. Though, I always find it funny because, so Ravenclaw, the mascot, is not actually a raven. It's an eagle. So I always find it funny, like, I'm not sure, it kind of looks like on this crest that they're having us go with Raven as well, which is like, really? But also their school colors, instead of the yeah, this picture looks like a raven. It does. Their school colors in the book, instead of being blue and silver, are blue and bronze. So I always find it interesting. Like, I know that the Lego stuff caters to the you know, bigger audience, and the bigger audience is the film audience. That's just, you know, like, we can be upset or grumpy about it or whatever, but like at the end of the day, of course they're catering to the larger audience. That's just how things go. But yeah, for whatever reason they decided to in the movies, I don't know if they made the decision to change it to a Ravenclaw Raven, or if they were just like, oh yeah, Ravenclaw are the Ravens, right? Yeah, cool. And moved on from there. Cause yeah. Oh, and Admon nailed it. Like, completely nailed it. Hufflepuffs are supposed to be hard workers and determined. Badgers exemplify that perfectly. Get us some black studs. Wolf would have made sense for Hufflepuff. I mean, kind of, actually. Because on top of being like hard workers and determined, they're also like supposed to be like essentially some of the best friends you could ever have too, because they're loyal to a fault. Just like wolves are for their pack. Wolves would have made sense for Hufflepuff too, actually, yeah. Though the kind of like archetype of the lone wolf, I guess, would maybe have kind of thrown that off a little bit, even though wolves are very much pack animals, right? I don't know. I think that wolf would have honestly made a really, really good choice for that too. And badgers also live in groups and are very social, which is a good point. Ooh, will you elaborate on that a little bit, Cod? I was thinking of the whole Red Riding Hood nursery rhyme. 2. So wait. 2. Ah. That's what happened. Mess that up by 1. Fix that. There we go. Also stubborn and persistent. Yeah. The big bad wolf huffs and he puffs and he blows the house down. Hufflepuff. I get it. I know that would have been a choice. Oh, that's funny, dude. Here I am, like, making up, well, not making up, but justifying exactly why, oh yeah, that would have been a good idea. And you're like, they huff and they puff. Come on. Easy peasy. Oh, and Elbow nailed it too. Hufflepuffs are also right next to the kitchen, their common room. So they are hungry like the wolf. Love it. That's glorious. And we're kind of doing a lot of these blacks, which are typically the outline. This is kind of the outline and filling in a little bit. Truthfully. So it ends up being a lot more than just kind of like the outlines typically are. Because it's like the badger's little nose, which is what we're doing literally right now. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, exactly. Badger just has a lot of black pieces. Which is fine. Actually, almost done with them too. Outline in the badger. We were really kind of outlining and, I mean, not filling in, but... Oh. Outlining and, I mean, coloring? Kind of? It's not really filling in. I'm not sure what word I'm looking for there exactly. Oh well. And 2. And so that's skip 2. And here. And here. And last but not least, here. Boop. I had 2 extra studs. So that one was pretty close. I've got some white ones out here, so I'll go ahead and grab these. Yo, Meowdy Saloner! These are my normal glasses. So I guess a little bit of both. A little bit of my normal glasses and Harry Potter glasses. That perhaps a little bit of both was, I mean, I think you nailed it with that part of it for sure. Yeah, so I have some other ones that are a little bit more rectangular. These are my newer ones. Like, these have my most updated prescription on them. And I'm trying to wear these more. So whenever I was going into work, I didn't really have to worry about it too much because I'd put on my newest prescription to go into work. Whenever we started working from home because, you know, the pandemic, for a while I was just still using my like old prescription because those were, you know, the ones that, oh, I'm gonna lay down, like I'm gonna put on the not really beater ones, but you know, the ones that if something happens to them, it's like, well, no big deal, right? Like, they're my old prescription, they're the older lenses or frames, like whatever. So whenever I started working from home because of the pandemic, I was like, oh, well, these are the ones that I'm wearing. I didn't even think about it. I just kept on wearing those because those were the ones that I had been wearing at home kind of in general. And so at one point I was like, oh, my eyes had started to kind of adjust to the old prescription again. And I was like, oh no. I realized that I needed to kind of switch back to acclimating back to my newer prescription. So that's why I've been wearing these a lot more consistently, because, I mean, I really should be. So, really good question. Fill in these buddies. Looks like we've got a few of our dark silver as well. So our dark silver will go... That's a dark silver one. So dark silver is going to be this little bit here, this little bit here, and here. A little bit more dark silver. Not a ton. Just a little bit. And whenever I put it down it, the little bag just fell over. Oops. Oh well. There are much worse things. Yeah, it does suit the theme really well. So true. Totally embraced. Got our dark gray on. And now we're about to get to fill in with gold, Jerry. Gold. I've got a few of them already out, so I'll go ahead and pull those in first. But we are going to need to pour more out shortly. The gold standard, exactly. So kind of filling in around here. And then I think I'm going to actually outline the black studs that we've already got in. Because that, I think, will illuminate it a lot better for the camera, the black studs that we've already got in. Because the black on black doesn't really pick up on camera as well. So I think I'm going to start by outlining that. Oh, and thank you for the compliment on the new logo. Much obliged, buddy. It's all fancy. Outline. Huh. And grab some more. So I'm going to kind of outline the badger with the gold. And then fill it on in. So outlining that badger with the gold. And then filling in between the outline of the crest and the outline of the badger. Badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom. I do declare Stallone has redeemed a Western impression. And while I am in fact a Texas sheep, my I do declare is a little bit more of a southeastern Western accent. Thanks for redeeming that impression, Stallone. And the badger has now been outlined. Let's go. And now we get to fill it on in. Oh, upside down. There we go. And we're filling in that badger outline area. So the bit where the crest itself is outlined and the badger begins. Fill it on in. Now I've got a Western dialect that I'm just pulling from. Because of that there, redemption. Badgers? Badgers? We don't need no stinking badgers. Great quote. I mean, I know it's typically badges, obviously. Still, great quote. Almost done filling this buddy in. A little bit more. Okay, let's see how close this is. See how clairvoyant I am. See what my divination OWL would be today. Maybe a little short. Maybe. We shall see. We shall see. Here's how many I grabbed. Moment of truth. Looks like it'll be a little short. Not by much, but a little short. By about 5 or 6, so actually much shorter than I was originally thinking I was going to be. Alas. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 6 under. Though, Price is Right rules, we didn't go over. I mean, we did with this grab, but knew that was going to be the case. Knew that one was going to be the case. All right. So we've now got our second panel. I always do that. There we go. Oh. Okay, and we've got a third panel for the day. And of course, I'm going to do the Technic connection pieces first. And I only grabbed 5, my bad. And kind of hold these up this way, like normal, using that seam on the bottom of the panel to designate which one goes into the middle. Show handbox. Boop. Perfect. All right. So we've got a little bit more of the H. So I'm going to start with that red. Just because it's like it pops so much. I kind of want to start with that. Even though I typically start with outlining, I think I'm going to start with this H first this go around. Reinforced panels. Definitely a plus. Very true. Well, and so whenever I'm kind of moving things around, right now, before everything is kind of connected, you'll see whenever we kind of come to a very close, 4, 5, 6, that the connections get strengthened later. But where we are right now, they don't. So whenever I have to kind of be careful whenever I'm moving around the Hogwarts piece. Because right now the connections are just these little Technic pieces in between them. So it's not exactly the most robust connection. So before too long, you know, whenever we get to the end, we'll reinforce those pieces. I'm relatively confident. Come on. But until such a point as we do that, it's a little flimsy. So I look forward to whenever we get there. I have to be pretty careful whenever I move stuff around there. Tenuous. There we go. Perfect diction. Perfect word choice. And it looks like my clairvoyance is going to have again been off a little bit short. Unfortunate. Well, I say that. It's going to be, it looks like only off by 1. Yeah, okay, we take those. Yeah, okay, we definitely take those. Only off by 1. Well, that's pretty solid. Okay, now let's outline. There we go. Got our black studs to outline. And we're basically just outlining the things that we just filled in. Looks like everything else that's outlined is with that dark silver. Or just the straight up silver. So we're outlining our H. This is, of course, the bottom left portion of the H. Filling it on in. Or outlining it on out. Kind of the opposite of filling in, actually. Pulling that H around. Pulling around that H. And there. Oh no, one more. There we go. Because it kind of gives that little like outward feel to that outline, that bottom of that H. The Hogwarts H. Oh. There we go. And then outline that little bit after the crossbar. Little tilde thing. Not sure exactly what to call that, truthfully. Kind of flourish, I guess, would be a good word for that. There we go. Okay, let's put those back. And let's see. Well, we've only got a handful of just straight up gray. Like what, 7 total studs? So about this many. 1 here, and then 6 up top. Oh, and I already had some out. Oops. Guess I could have grabbed from there. But freaking nailed how many we had there. Let's go. Oh, and looks like there's 2 black studs over here too. We're kind of missing. So we'll drop those in. Got these silver buddies over here. go ahead and fill in a few of these. This is not really where I would normally be doing stuff next, but it works. Ooh. What art style this is closest to? I'm trying to recall exactly what it's called. Maybe it's called pointillism? I'm so bad at art terminology. But it's the one where it's all of the dots. Is that called pointillism? I'm probably very wrong about that. Yo. Yeah, they're like, no, you nailed it. Yes. That feels good. Yeah, that is what I would say this art style most closely resembles. Art is definitely something that I wish that I knew more about than I actually do. Truthfully. I always like seeing the really cool artworks, but I never really know kind of like the proper terminology for them. Okay, so that goes up to there. And then we've got these 3, and then it goes vertical again. Cool. Nailed it. Yo, thank you so much for that compliment, Stallone. I appreciate that, buddy. Yeah, I wasn't sure exactly how to stream Lego. And then Brian pointed me, Brian O'Brien, pointed me in a few different directions to look. So I actually, my first stream or 2 of Lego looked very different. It wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't bad. But this is definitely an improvement on the original format. And I'm very glad that you've been here too, Stallone. It's been a good time getting to hang out with you again, my friend. Much love, buddy. Do 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 do. And so we've kind of got our outline of the H portion of the crest there. We're filling this buddy in. Or outlining this buddy out still. Only goes up 1 and then over. Hey, I am happy of any time that I get to spend with you. Only positive vibes there, man. Only positive vibes. And it looks like everything else is gold, Jerry. Gold. Come on. There we go. So we get to fill in everything else. Yeah, positive vibes are definitely what's up. And the sky and the ceiling. And for me, a ceiling fan. Because again, I live in Texas. If a room doesn't have fans, then I don't want to think about it. I shudder at the mere thought. because it is Texas. Puns are great. I'm a big fan of puns. You know, since we were just talking about fans, huh? And that one wasn't really a pun. That was just alluding to the thing we were just talking about. LMAO, dab. The pun blue, like a fan does. Huh? Huh? I'm with you. I followed that. I'm a huge fan of puns in general. Not even worrying about the allusion to the fans that we've been talking about, but wordplay is just fun. Oh. It's just fun to pun with friends. And fill in this little bit. And then we get to fill in the area between the H outline and the crest outline. So we got our gold filled in here. And we just get to fill in this area with gold as well. Yeah, I think that's a really good distinction to make too. Is like, I like good puns. I mean, bad puns are fine too, but good puns are where it's at. They make me laugh the hardest, for sure. Fill it on in. And this time it is filling it in. Because we've got our outlines, plural, out, and we just get to fill in the middle of the dots. And grab another handful. I love the Punsters United nonsense system so that you can use the name on occasion. That's glorious. A good pun is preferred over a bad pun, but both are acceptable. So true. A bad pun can still be enjoyable. Can. Not always, but it can be. I think a lot of it is kind of the delivery of the pun, right? Like if you're like, say the pun in honestly, I like it more. I don't know why. but I do like it more. It's just the way it be sometimes, I guess. All right, almost done filling in this gold bit here. Almost. Oh, fine. That works. I mean, it's gonna have to be filled in with a gold stud at some point anyway, so may as well just let it go. Yeah. Lets the other person know that I know it's a pun. Such a good point. Well, and also like, it's like, hey, you're in the joke, I'm in the joke, we can joke together. And not the like, oh, that accidental pun. Like, accidental puns are good too. Whenever someone says pun not intended and they actually intend the pun, it's always like, just embrace it. Why you have to pretend like it wasn't intended? Now, sometimes I'll be like, oh, wow. And I'll notice it afterwards and be like, oh, that wasn't intended. But I always say, but embraced. Pun not intended, but embraced. 'Cause it is. Very much so. Yo, Meowdy Darren. Good to see you, friend. Oh my gosh, I was telling people before you got here, today at work so far has been craziness. I was in a meeting that lasted until like, what was it, 10, 15 minutes into my lunch break. No, I don't think it is. But the clap is appreciated in the method that it was designed. Okay. That brings us to putting these buddies together. I'm doing it the correct way this time. Aww. And that is our progress for today. Let's go. I'm a big fan of that. In fact, let's hide all of them. You can see exactly what all we got done today. So we got our kind of penultimate little flourishy bit, the paisley bit. We got our crest outline. We got our H. And we got the head of the badger. Let's go. So thank you very much for joining me here for my lunch break in the city of Electric Sheep. And until next time, you stay electric, Sheep City.